Please. It's your birthday.
Yeah. And by the way, don't abuse me tonight, fellas. It is my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
There you go. It is Ron's birthday tonight.
Happy birthday.
So, this is Jim from Bang Time Pool. We are live right now, the Billiard Hangout, and we have our two finalists. And let me put that in quotations because Darin's already chewed me out once for it. So our two finalists in the Bang Time Pool virtual 9-ball tournament. We have Darin, who is from Detroit, Michigan. And we have Ron, also from Michigan. So in talking to these two guys, they're about 3 hours apart. So, it'd be pretty cool someday. That would be cool for me, if I'd lived 3 hours from someone just to get together and play a little bit. But what I want to do is I kind of talk to these guys and kind of cut into their practice session. Both of them are practicing right now for the match that's coming up on Tuesday, November 17th. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So obviously that's 6 p.m. on the West Coast Pacific Standard Time. And, I just want to let you guys get a chance to learn a little bit about these guys. So what I'm going to do is, as Ron's going to practice, as you can see on the right-hand screen, I want to talk to Darin a little bit.
We'll catch up.
Darin, how you doing tonight?
Really good. Thanks for having me again.
Good, man. And congratulations he was our first finalist. I already got chewed out about it. I was so excited after his match that I think I called him a semifinalist.
That's all right.
Me, which is, that's perfectly fine.
Counted out my whole life.
First finalist. And so what I want to do is I want to just, give the viewers a little chance to learn a little bit about you. The first thing I want to talk about is when did you start playing pool? Was it a young age? Was it, when you got a little older? So give us a little background on your pool play.
Yeah, sure. I started when my mom, actually, it's a crappy story that turned into a good one. My mom and my dad split up, and my mom got with somebody new. My stepfather now, and he bought a pool table for the house that he bought. So it was I just started playing at like 11 or 12 years old. I was in like 4th or 5th grade. I just started, and I think it started just it starts for a lot of younger kids that start playing, where they're just taking the balls and you're just throwing them, and you're just trying to make stuff like that. And then I learned the game because I didn't have a lot of friends where I was growing up, because I was new to the area and to the school. So I just started playing pool, and eventually I met some neighborhood kids, and I brought them in, and we play too. So we play all the time. Now my mom and my dad played. My mom and my stepfather played quite a bit, and all their friends played. So because I come from a family of card players and pool players, so I don't know how to play not one damn card game. So they're that.
Now is this the table that you learned on right here?
This is not. I had an old bar box. I can't remember what it was. My dad had it was just like a 7-footer. That's what I learned to play on. He bought this in my sophomore year, so I was like 16. I'm 36 now. He bought this when I think I was a sophomore, and then when I got my own place, he gave me the table as a gift. So that's where I got the table. It was his, and then he gave it to me. So free as me. I wasn't turning down anything. So this has been my table for the last 15 years, 10, 15 years.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. I know we've touched on it earlier in some meetings together, but let's talk about the cues that you play with.
Sure.
There's a lot of people out there that play with $7, $8, $9, $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 cues.
Sure.
Some of these shafts out there are $400, $500, $600. Can you touch on what you play with? Kind of give us the what's in your case scenario.
Yeah. So I don't shoot with anything really crazy. This is just like $100, maybe $125 McDermott. Nothing special about this stick at all. I just like it. I just like the way it feels. I like the McDermott. I've always shot with lower level McDermott's and Players. Something about just like a Sneaky Pete style stick that always was just something that I really liked. And I mean, as far as the expensive sticks goes, it's really just a matter of I'm cheap. That's really what it is. I'm cheap and I don't want to spend $500 on cues and whatever else. Not that I'm against it, but I don't think that you have to have an expensive stick or expensive cue to learn the game. And I think that kind of gets forgotten. I used to play hockey, was the same way, where you have all these guys with the best equipment, but they weren't the best players. They just had the best shit, you know? And not saying that there's not great guys, because obviously the pros are playing with the best. But yeah, I just always, I don't know, I just felt, and I always felt like less pressure too. I was playing with this, and if I know a guy that's playing with a $600 cue and I got a $100 one, then I'm the underdog, and I play better that way. So.
And that gives you a little motivation too, I'm sure.
Gives me a little motivation, right?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest subjects out there right now is aiming systems. Everyone's looking for the easy way to pocket balls. Yeah. We all know there's no easy way to pocket balls. But can you kind of touch on, and again, whether you have an aiming system, whether you don't, how do you just pocket balls? Again, now what we have to realize is his first game, he scored 52 points, which set the bar. His second match, he scored 45, which again is the second highest score in the virtual tournament thus far. So the man can pocket some balls. What is there a method to your madness, so to speak?
Well, honestly, I honestly think a lot of it is repetition. Just, I can't tell you how many times I just countless just throwing the balls out there and just trying to shoot and make as many as I can without missing. That was number one. But as far as like an aiming system, I guess, I put a little bit of throw depending on which side of the ball or which way I need the object ball to go. I step away from the pool table. I look and I create an imaginary line in my head, because but I have a basic concept of how pool works, so I can step back and I can create. Like, I used to play this game on Nintendo called Side Pocket, and they would put the line out for you. And I think even like today, the 8-ball game for your phone has it, where that line comes out and you can see exactly where you're going to hit the ball. Sure. Like, exactly. In my mind, I'm putting that together, and I have an idea, So that's kind of my aiming system, is just that, just actually looking at it and understanding with what I know. I think it's mostly just repetition.
Yeah, I think Chuck.
If I'm going left, I put a little bit of right throw. If I'm going, the other, it's vice versa. But I think
Chuck back at Billiards mentioned that a little bit ago, where you just need to kind of lay the stick right on that line, which you're talking about.
Yeah,
kind of the same aspect. You need to step back from the table, as you mentioned, find your line, trust your line. Yeah, and go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and the other thing is like the stroke. Like, once you get down, it's like I'm stroking until I feel like that's the spot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm stroking that shot until I feel that's my line is exactly where I need it, and then I'm letting the thing go. That's what the stroke is. It's not just for effect because it looks cool in movies. Like, you're stroking like that's how I always looked at the stroke. Like, I'm going. Here's my shot. Bam, I take my shot. That's how I look at it.
So it's a comfort level for you. You're gonna keep
building confidence,
lining it up. Perfect. I love it. That's awesome. And you know what? That's going to be beneficial to a lot of people out there. Like I said, a lot of people are looking for the miracle cure to pocket balls. Repetition. Absolutely. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is when you're practicing, you got to pocket balls. I mean, that's the bottom line. Let's talk about your channel a little bit. Now, I know you have a little, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube and things like that. You want to talk about your channel or, channels a little bit?
Sure. Mr. Edit 1 was a channel. I didn't make it for pool. So I'm a producer by trade. I'm an editor. So me and a buddy of mine, we created a web series called The Following Announcement Show. So it was created to host our videos, and it's it's basically a bro story. It's comedy. It's, you know, it's Dumb and Dumber. It's Night at the Roxbury, but it's really, it's produced to a high level. And, you know, so that's what the show, that's kind of what the channel is mostly. Now, when COVID hit, I had nothing to do because I couldn't get people together. We couldn't act. We couldn't film. We couldn't do anything. So I was sitting at home doing a lot of trick shots, and I started putting them online. And that's kind of how I met, you know, you, Jim, and, you know, some of the other guys in the pool community.
And if you haven't seen his trick shots, I'll tell you what, he puts me to shame. He puts videos on his table, and you know, some of the shots are absolutely, you know, amazing. So if you haven't seen those, you need to go back and check out this guy's channel.
Yeah,
and I will have a link to his channel in the description. Make sure you check it out. You know, this guy works hard. He's good at what he does, not only pool, but his other avenue. Check it out. It's awesome. And again, if you haven't seen his trick shots, you're missing something. So
yeah,
you know,
I try to dial them up, and I try to make them more than just trick, you know, because the creative side of me wants to make it more than just about pool, because I wasn't making them for pool for people that like pool. I was just making them for people that had already followed my channel, who were friends and fans of just the content we did. And I was just saying, I was just like, here's something else I can do, you know, more me, whatever. But
yeah. I'll tell you what, though, you know, it was awesome. You know, you had them at least a couple times a week and things like that. I'll tell you what, I started looking forward to them. You know, it was, you know, during that real high peak time of COVID, we were all looking for something, and, you know, it was awesome. You know, that's, like you said, that's how you and I really came together. I was throwing some trick shots out there. Didn't compete with you, but, you know, you were doing the same thing, and we kind of just, you know, commented to each other, and we, you know, grew a little closer. And, you know, it's the virtual pool friendship, I guess we could call it. And, you know, that really helped get me through that period. You know, it was really awesome. So the last thing I want to talk about, and it kind of leads into the COVID thing, you know, unfortunately, but you made a statement a few weeks ago, and it really stuck with me. You know, after your match, you said, you know, this is all I have. You know, this is the competition that you have. Can you talk about the league, the situation with your leagues right now in Detroit?
Sure. Yeah, there's a county league that I play in. That's it's partners. So you actually have 4 people. You actually have 8 people on a team. 4 people play at home. The other 4 people play away against the other team's other 4. And at the end of the night, you play 10 games. You're a partner with each guy one time, or each guy twice, one guy once. And all it is who got the most. You know, if half your guys got 8 games and the other half only got 4, you still won 12-8 that night. That's how it goes. The next week, you flip, you go away, they come home, you play one more time, and then you switch. There's like 12 bars in the league. I've been playing it since I was about 21. I think 21 is right when I got in there. And it's really fun. It's bank the 8. So it's partners bank the 8. So, I mean, all the guys are really good shots. You know, it's a drinking league. So, you know, there's no calling anything except for the 8 ball, and it has to be banked. So that they keep the rule pretty simple. There's other rules, but that's pretty much the gist, right? So
leagues are back in session right now, so to speak.
So leagues are not. So that's the other part is that. So they closed down. They closed down in March, and we were heading into the semifinals. We had a bye for the quarter. We were heading into the semi or whatever, the second round of the playoffs, whatever. And they axed it, and then they said that, you know, the league was going to be canceled for the season. So, okay, we were the defending champions. We were supposed to, you know, hopefully be there again. And that it is what it is. So fast forward to the fall, and they didn't get enough yays apparently to get this thing going. I mean, there's a lot of older guys in the league, a lot of above 50 or above 60. So it didn't seem like they had enough to get it going. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. It's kind of in limbo. There are other leagues around here, but they're far away. And I really don't want to drive an hour, you know, on a Monday night to go, you know, to go shoot pool. So I'm at home now, you know, and I was only a sub on that league anyway. So
touching on that, I don't know if you realize, well, you realize it, I know you do, but the viewers out there, and speaking of the viewers, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, tuning in. We're looking to, learn a little bit about the two finalists in the Bang Time Pool Virtual 9-Ball Tournament coming up on Tuesday, November 17th at 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific. It is what it is. The leagues are shut down and things like that. But, Darin made it pretty clear, this is all he has right now. And it really stuck with me. And it's pretty cool that we can get, people together from, parts of the United States or beyond. I'm looking, beyond now. I'm getting a lot of emails and things like that from people wanting to get in tournaments. And just for your information, I do plan to fire up another one, a double elimination. So be prepared for that. But, it's awesome that we can give this to you. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm having fun,
Okay.
I was an alternate. I wasn't even supposed to be in the tournament. So the fact that I'm in the finals now, playing against another good shot, man, I'm having fun. So it is.
And that's what I was going to touch on. Darin was an alternate. I had another gentleman scheduled, and he emailed me about 24 hours before the draw and said he had to step away. So I had Darin already set up as an alternate. And I said, I contacted him, said, you good to go? And he said, yes. And he was actually my first draw when I did the draw. And, it was amazing. My last draw was Ron. So first and last draw are in the finals right now. So, pretty awesome. But, just I want to wish you good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you.
And, thanks for letting us in your practice session tonight. I'm going to move on to Ron here and learn a little bit about him. And then I'll stop back in here before we check out, so to speak. And you guys can kind of converse a little bit, but I'm going to move over to Ron. But Darin, I appreciate it. The man's a class act, great pool player. And if you haven't checked out his channel, again, I will have the link to his channel in the description. Make sure you go check him out. And
check out all my content. I'm a comedian on the side, so check that out.
There you go. And again, all that aside, if you haven't seen his trick shots, you're going to be amazed. Seriously. I mean, the guy puts in countless hours. I know what it takes to put on a trick shot video. And, a lot of people think it's one shot, two shots. Okay, yeah, we're good. No, you can spend a lot of time on one shot to perfect it. So I know what this guy does. I know what he has done. So, show him some support. And Tuesday night, please be there and show this man some support. So, Darin, I'll be back with you. I'm going to click on over to Ron. But thanks for letting us come into your practice session tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, man. Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jim. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing good. All right. So Ron Johnson, again, he's about 3.5 hours away from Darin. They're both from Michigan. And, I want to kind of touch on kind of the same things I touched with Darin, but I have my own little twists, and we'll touch on those. But let's talk about you, how you started in this game.
Oh, well, the proverbial young kid, goes to his uncle or goes over to other friend's house and they have tables and, like Darin said, you toss the balls around and you don't really have any idea what you're doing, but you kind of like it. You kind of, think that it's fun. And then as I got into high school, I befriended a really close classmate of mine. As a matter of fact, we're still best friends. He's kind of one of my idols as far as pool is concerned. And he had a 7-foot valley in the basement, actually in one stall of a 2-stall garage. So in the winter, especially in Michigan, you bundled up when you went to shoot pool. So
yeah,
but it was fun. We didn't care. We go over, drink a couple beers. He was an Army guy. I'm a Navy guy. and you know, we talk crap to each other, and we shoot pool, and we still don't have any idea what we're doing, but we're down there banging balls around. And then once I enlisted in the Navy, I befriended what I thought was probably one of the best pool shooters I've ever seen. And we would, that's when I got introduced to pool halls and Q Master Billiards in Virginia Beach, Virginia, home of the U.S. Open, year after year. I think 9-ball was the U.S. Open that was played in Q Masters there. And that's when, you know, he really started showing me the game, and you know, was teaching me some things, and kind of, you know, giving me the insides into what this game is about. And we spent countless hours there. And that's back when you could go in and shoot for 3 hours for $5 and get the 4th hour free. And you had the best burger in town, you know, the Berry Burger off the flat top grill, you know.
There you go.
And you know, that was some of the best food, some of the best times. And we'd go sit in the quiet room at times, and I'd watch these old guys in there playing 3-ball or 6-ball, and stacks of cash on the table, you know, or
Sure.
silently slipped, you know, from one hand to the other, kind of thing that we've seen in countless movies and, you know, stuff like that. But that really instilled the passion of pool in me. Is
and that's what happens, is it becomes a passion.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Darin could attest to it. I can attest to it. You can. It becomes a passion. You know?
Absolutely. And then when I got home, you know, I reacquainted with my best buddy back here, and he introduced me to the Bud Light leagues in the APA back then, which was just 8-ball at the time. And I shot in those for about 5 years or so, but it was kind of hard, and young kids growing up, and it would take my entire Saturday. And so I stepped away from that for just a little bit, but I enjoyed it, you know, and I had some success, and I was learning about the game. And my buddy, you know, he at that point, you know, was surpassing me as far as his skill level and his capabilities. So he was teaching me how to play some defense, and he's still teaching me that to this day. I'm not a very good defensive player. I still have to work on that as part of my learning the game. And I'm a constant student of it. Thus the reason how I found your channel, you know, Chuck's channel, Little Chris's, you name it. You know, I'm a fan of all. So, but
and you know what's important about that is we're all a fan of all. I want every pool channel out there to get as big and as popular as they can, because, you know, it's such a great game. And I don't care if you want to learn from me, you want to learn from Little Chris, you want to learn from Brian from FX Billiards, you want to learn from Chuck, you want to learn from Darin, you want to learn from Ron Johnson. I don't care. Give them all your support. You know, that's what we're looking for here. That's what my goal is in this.
It's,
you know,
it's all better for the game in the end. And like you, I would certainly like to see the reemergence of the passion of the game, you know, and I see that to a certain degree in the APA, the BCA, the Valley Leagues, you know, those kind of things. There are some passionate people out there, but you can find you know, 10 or 12 YouTube channels that are serious about it. And you know, this format that you're doing here, you know, you just don't see this. You know, there's some places, but this has been a great format, and it's great fun, and it's great for pool. So
yeah, and it's awesome. I mean, you know, it's amazing how we can get people from different parts of the United States, as it's been thus far.
Yeah,
just been the United States. We can get people from the different parts of the United States together in the same platform, and they can actually, you know, quote unquote, play each other. You know, and it really is awesome. And you know, like Darin said, you know, this is all he has right now with his leagues being shut down and things like that. But what I want to talk about next is kind of what I talked about with Darin. Let's talk about your cues. You know, what kind of equipment do you use?
like Darin, I'm, relatively low budget guy. I talked about Cue Master Billiards. My first official cue, I still have, as a matter of fact. It is now 33 years old. It is one of the original Malleys, green label Malley. Might be kind of hard to see, but I can draw some light. And
Wow.
you might be able to pick the label up, but it's the original, I believe, Malley number 4, number 6, 19-ounce cue. I paid, $125 at Cue Master and thought I was spending a fortune on a cue. And here I am 33 years later, and this guy still shoots like a dream,
I love it. That's awesome.
And, I've been shooting the Kamuis, medium tips, because that's what I was told to shoot. Recently, I went to a Kamui Clear Soft. That's what I re-tipped this one with, and I think I like that even better.
Okay.
But, I spent a little bit more. I got a McDermott. It's a G350 series. I love the Bird's Eye Maple and the natural linen wrap with a G-core. A little bit less flex in the shaft, kind of start of the low deflection.
Low deflection, right?
Yep. So
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of money did you spend on that?
it was about 3.
Okay, so what I wanted to get across there is, you don't have to spend $1,200 on a setup. These guys are in the finals. Darin's at about $125. Ron's at around 300. You don't need you don't need these $400 or $500 carbon fiber shafts and things like that just to be really good at this game. Once you get to a certain level, which would be a high level, maybe you need that extra boost, that extra kick, and maybe you would go there. But you don't have to have a $600 and $700 cue to be good at this game. Okay, and these guys are a testament to that. And I appreciate you guys, laying it out there for us. And I think that's very important for the viewers to understand that you don't have to go out there and get this is a very affordable game, and you can be really good at this game with minimal equipment.
Absolutely. The table I've got, my wife, stumbled on a steal of a deal, and I've got an 8-foot CL Bailey that was one of her classmates that they had to move and was giving the table away.
Love it. That's
so
awesome.
I contacted a professional, had him disassemble, reassemble, recover it with same said best buddy that I shoot with. Had some extra Simonis off of a diamond 9-footer that was still in great shape. And so we put that Simonis on this 8-footer, and that's what I'm shooting with.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Now, of course, I'm going to have to touch on something here. And I've been at Ron right now. I've been talking to him here in the last couple of days. He's not a big promoter of his channel for himself, but I'm trying to get him to put out some break videos. Okay, I want to fire up his channel. I think he can be successful because, let me tell you, in the first match that he had, he pocketed 19 balls in 9 racks. In the second match, he pocketed 16 balls in 9 racks on the break. That's just balls on the break. That's not, counting the total balls. So, Ron, can you kind of talk us through this, man? I'm looking for some pointers from you too. I'm gonna twist your arm until you put a video out. If I could average 2 balls a break and I could play 7 ball, I might be pretty good.
Yeah. Like I told you the other, the first match a week ago. I was playing 6 ball. It'd be great if I could make the other 6 after I pocket those first 3. And I'm still working on that. Some of that's dealing with the camera, and that's why I don't have a YouTube channel. It's not something that I really aspired to do. I've been, but as far as my break is concerned, I watch different videos. Little Chris is a big proponent. Control the rock. control the rock on the break. And I was one of those bangers, you know, wind up and smash it. I'm a big guy. I'm a strong guy. And I can certainly wind up and smash them, you know. Everybody knows the color of money and the crack of that rack. And I was that guy, you know, but I couldn't control the rock at that speed. So, you know, I started watching some other videos, and the more and more I watched, and I was seeing guys that was, you know, they were breaking and controlling that ball. You watch the professional Shane's one of the best breakers in the game, you know. And I said, you know, now that I have a table, that's one of the first things I'm going to start working on. And so for pretty close to 6 months now, that's what I do when I come down here. Is you know, I learned some of those nuances of I've got a magic rack, and that helps, but there's times that I also just pull the wooden rack off the wall and rack 9, and it's nowhere near as tight as it is with that magic rack. So, you know, the magic rack, you can usually get that side ball into the corner. And you know, in watching some of the other videos, I started keying in on where I could hit it, and also be able to get that one ball, you know, to kick to the side pocket. And so that's what I'm doing, you know, when I'm aiming that. And the other thing that I did is you know, Tor Lowry has a good video on breaking. As a matter, I think he just released it just a few days ago, as a matter of fact. And that was another pointer that I picked up, that Predator's got a speed gauge for our phones. It's a speed app, and it's $4.99.
Yeah, I have that app as well, and it's very accurate, and it's awesome. It really is.
You lay it on the table next to where you're breaking. You tell it where you're breaking from, what size your table is. You can even do custom dimensions with it, and what type of rack you're breaking. Hey, Chuck, how are you, buddy? And
Chuck, welcome to the stream, buddy.
And, you know, so I've learned to set that up, and I've worked with it. And, you know, like Tor mentions, you know, there's shortcuts and ways around it. I take the time to rack the rack so that I see what the rack is doing. And I found my consistent speed, which is about 15 to 16 miles an hour or so on my break. But part of my control is the pause on my backstroke before I come through. You know, I get my practice strokes in, usually 3, maybe 4, depending on how I'm feeling. And like, you know, Darin said, when you feel it and I pull back, I pause on that stroke, and I'm focusing on my contact point on that cue ball. And, you know, I've got my line. So if I'm off, I know it's my line. You know, yeah, I'm not always 100% guaranteed to strike the right point on that cue ball, but, you know, once I've focused in and I've got it down. And the other thing is I'm stroking for just above center, because just above center gives that the momentum that carries it forward. So when it comes off that one ball, it drops back, because that's physics at work. A tight rack, you know, when that cue ball hits the rack, it's going to bounce back. It should bounce back. If it's not if it doesn't bounce back, you didn't have a tight rack. You know, so just learning those nuances. And I've spent, again, you know, almost 6 months now repetitively coming down, working that break, and I break from the same side traditionally. Now, when I'm shooting league, naturally I'm checking the rack for loose, you know, and I may flip to the other side. But I've gone now to where I break from the side. I broke all over that table, but that side break seems to work for me. I can zero in on the head ball. As long as I'm hitting it square and hitting it about the same speed, I get a good break and I get a good spread. And most of the time, I have a pretty good percentage of not tying balls up.
Yeah, you're not doing too bad right now.
Yeah, and to me, that's kind of the key. So
yeah, so this is what I want the viewers to understand. This gentleman has put in a lot of time, as you can see. It's not just, you know, he just hits a couple breaks and goes into a match. He has put in the time, and that's what this game is about.
No magic.
Darin mentioned it. Ron mentioned it. I'll mention it. Chuck will mention it. You need to put in the time, every aspect of this game, if you want to improve. There's no shortcuts to this game.
No,
except
sir.
for put in the time.
Yep.
We don't need thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Okay. These guys are a testament to it. I'm a testament to it. I did just recently get a carbon fiber shaft, but before that, I was using a, I don't know, 8-year-old 314 Predator shaft. And I mean, that's just what it was. And, you know, you can be successful at this game, minimal cost, but you have to put the time in.
Yep.
And all of these guys will attest to that.
Yep. I used to get upset with myself on leagues because I only shot on Sundays, didn't have a table. I couldn't shoot at night because of work schedules, things like that, you know, but I would stop and do a reality check and say, you know what? I can't be upset because I only shoot 1 day a week. And
Yep,
I can tell
exactly.
you, you know, having this table, especially during this COVID period, 1, it's my sanity break. 2, it's my exercise. My wife forced me. On your lunch, you go down for at least 30 to 45 minutes of your lunch and you get some exercise, you go down and shoot pool.
Man, that's a good woman right there.
Uncle, honey, stop. You know,
That's
so,
great. That's
yeah,
great.
I get her support too. You know?
And you know what? You know, I'm one of the fortunate ones. I have a table at home as well. You know, I really feel for those during this pandemic that did not have a table. I don't know how you made it through.
Amen.
This game is addicting. It's like anything else. You need it every single day. So I feel for you guys that don't have a table. But you know, you said it, man. This was therapy during all of this. It
Absolutely.
really was.
Absolutely.
Really
And this tournament is, Jim. This
Right.
tournament is therapy, brother.
You know, speaking of the tournament, and I'm going to get to a last question for you. You know, I've had some people come across and say you should have an entry fee and you should have this and you should have this. You know what? I do have a donate button on my, I just did it a couple of days ago on my channel, but I'm not even going to go that direction. I want to put this, you know, tournaments out for you guys. I want you, I'm not looking for that. Anything that would ever come to me is going back to the tournament anyway. But, you know, I don't want to go that direction. I want to just keep giving these streams out. I know what it means to you guys. I know what it means to me. And like I said, I'm going to fire up the second double elimination tournament, you know, very soon after the first, you know, after this one is over. And there's going to be no entry fee or anything like that. This is for you guys, man. This is what it's all about. Like Darin said, this is all he has, and that's all I needed to hear. You know, I'm going to put my time out there and give the viewers. Like I said, I was sitting there one Friday night, and there was no live pool billiards on anywhere, and I said this has to change. So. First of all, you know, you guys participating, putting it out there is you know, people don't understand. Yeah, you can come into the chat and you can comment, but these guys are putting it out there every single shot. You know, it's out there for, you know, whoever wants to view it. And that takes some guts, so to speak.
I'll tell you.
I want to, you know, I want to thank you guys for doing that. And I want to keep moving forward with tournaments. And I actually, I want to start a league. Whether you want your league start up again, we can still have a virtual league where, you know, we can work it out and we can have a 10, 12, 15-week league where you're playing all these players. So I want that opportunity that a lot of people have lost, you know, thus far with coronavirus and things like that, with all the shutdowns. I'm going to try to open up as much as I can. You know, my time, this is for you guys. And again, I appreciate both of you. But Ron, let's speaking of leagues, how are the leagues around your area? I know you're about 3.5 hours away from Darin. What's the situation there? Ron, I think your sound. There you go.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, our APAs have been working. We've been up and running, and so I have been able to shoot. I shoot a double jeopardy on Sunday, 8-ball and 9-ball, and so it's a Southwest Michigan APA league. run by a great league operator, Jim Cavender, and so far we're able to stay open. But here in Michigan, they're starting to shut things back down again. So, where they're forcing more people to go back to work or go back home and work from home. And so I don't know. I don't know what the future of our league is. Our governor has, been little by little kind of tightening things back down, and so our numbers are escalating, and there's
it's crazy. I'm here in Florida, and our numbers are absolutely going crazy as well. Right. And I will promise you right now that we will have another double elimination tournament with probably double the players, and we're going to keep this going. I want you guys to feel that you're going to have some competition in this game. So we're going to keep it fired up, and actually, the winner of this, I plan on a 15-player double elimination tournament. The winner of this will be my #1 seed, which will get a bye to the second round. Okay, so one of you will be in that tournament if you choose, and you will get a bye to the second round automatically with a victory on Tuesday night, November 17th at 9 p.m. So let me bring Chuck on here. Chuck, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so let's talk about keys a little bit here to the match on Tuesday. Let's talk about Darin first of all. What do you think the keys are going to be for Darin to be successful and win the match on Tuesday night?
Trying to help here. And play your own game, and don't worry about the scoreboard. But you know this, you've been there. Just keep a good break. The break's got to be good for both parties. No, I always have people ask me also, about the magic rack versus the triangle. And my opinion on that is, if you're going to play competition, you got to know how to play it. So if you're practicing, practice 5 games with both, because you got to know how to break with both. Depending on what tournament you're in, they might not allow you to use the magic rack, or they might be just using magic rack. It depends.
Right. All right. How about Ron? What do you think it's pretty obvious, but what do you think the keys to his match are on Tuesday?
Just get confident in your stroke. You gotta try to hit center pocket so you can move the cue ball around a lot better. But other than that, your reg's fine, and just be more confident in your shot making.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chuck. And Chuck's been through this. He's played this format a number of times. I've had some practice sessions with a lot of people with him. So he is, very schooled, so to speak, in this process. And Ron, first of all, I want to apologize to you on your last match. I didn't get the opportunity to stick your 5-ball up here. You are represented by the 5-ball.
Whoop, whoop.
I didn't get the chance. I was so excited after that match against Roobster that after it was done, I said, oh my goodness, I did not give him the, So you are right here. All right. We have our first draw and our last draw in the, tournament draw. You guys are in the finals. The winner of this will be our champion on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I just want to give you guys kind of the last stage here. I'll start with Darin. You want to say anything about the match? You want to say anything to Ron?
Yeah, I'm glad. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know what the level of talent of this tournament was going to be. I didn't know how competitive I would even be. Like you said, I came in as an alternate, but I'm grateful to be in the spot, and doing the dance with another Michigander is pretty fun for me. So I think that's cool that we were, there's players we had players all around the states, and it ended up being 2 guys from Michigan. So I'm looking forward to that, and let the best man win. I'll be probably drinking a whiskey or a beer or something that night. Let's keep it friendly, and have a nice clean match.
Right. And I would expect everyone, and again, before I go to Ron here, I want to thank everyone in the chat. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We learned a lot about these guys. I hope to see you all Tuesday night. Hey, Tuesday night's going to be a great match. Sit back, have yourself a drink, get your popcorn, whatever you want to do. And whether it's Gatorade, whiskey, that's your choice. Get your popcorn, sit back, enjoy this match, because I'm telling you, that's what I'm going to do. That's what Chuck's going to do, because these guys are the show. It's not me. It's not Chuck. It's these guys, Darin and Ron. They've earned the right to be in the finals of this Bang Time Pool virtual 9-ball tournament. They've earned that, and we're going to sit back and we're going to watch them do their thing. Ron, the stage is yours.
Well, like Darin said, this isn't something I wasn't sure, like he mentioned, the quality of shooters, and it's apparent. I saw Chuck and Dante, their match, so I knew they were good quality shooters. And Chris, we've seen the practice sessions with Chuck, and not knowing Darin and several of the others, Rubster, that kind of stuff. So to be able to be in the finals at this, I wasn't even sure I was going to do this. When you threw it out there and said, "Hey, anybody interested?" I was like, I don't know. That whole being on YouTube live stream, it's not really my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I'm learning to break that, and that's kind of why I did it. Was to get out, make some new friends, do something great for the game during this COVID crap show that we've got for 2020. And be able to have some fun, but at the same time, kind of stretch my legs, and force me to step up a little bit. And absolutely. Darin, you're a great shot, as has been stated several times. You've set the bar, my friend. But
he said it twice.
yeah, exactly. So, I concur with him. I think that it's awesome that we got a rumble in the mitten, baby. It's Love a couple of Michigan guys, and we're just out here to have some fun and give the viewers a great match. And that's what I hope for Tuesday night.
And you know what? I promise it's going to be a great match. And I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to put these guys on stage. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch it happen. And, that's what I expect all of you to do. But both of you, I want to first congratulate you for being in the finals. And then again, you guys are both first-class people before you are pool players. People don't realize that I talk to you guys, I don't know, hours and hours right now on the phone, which is awesome. I love it. I really do.
Right.
I can call Darin and it's like I've known him for 10 years. I can call Ron and same deal. We just talk about everything. We have the same interests. And, that's important. Great people before they are pool players. And, that's what's good for the game. And, I hate to see, it's a tournament, so there has to be a winner and a loser. I'd like to call it a tie, but there will be a winner. There will be a second place person. Okay. So I wish you guys the best of luck. And, it is what it is. And I appreciate you being in the tournament. And Chuck, any last words, buddy?
No, I mean, just play well and have fun, and let's get it on.
Yeah, and you know what? I like what he said. Have fun. That's the bottom line in this whole thing.
Amen.
If it's not fun, then find something else to do. So,
amen.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you for letting us kind of butt into your practice session today. Keep doing your thing, and Tuesday night. Again, November 17th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. These guys will be getting it on for the championship of the first Bang Time Pool Virtual 9-Ball Tournament. Love it, man. Congratulations. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Viewers, I will see you all on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, baby.